My name is Rashada, the Resilient PA, and I thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new here, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification for the next time I upload, because you're not going to want to miss it, especially after what I tell you. So, the last video that I uploaded, I gave you guys a peek at the journal, and I keep it right up in here, so when I wake up in the morning, it's here. And I will definitely tell you what I got coming up. Now, I'm pretty sure you're just like, oh, Lord, what's she about to tell us? I'm like, hold on, sis. Hold on, bro. Hold on. So this is the Intimacy Journal for Millennials. I feel like God called me to create this journal because he wanted his children to spend more time with him. I mean, that's just the basis of it. You can study. You can worry, okay? If you have anxiety, depression, you just need to vent to your Father. Vent to the person who can change your life around, change your situation around, okay? And then we have prayer, because prayer changes things, including mindsets. And then we have tithes and, you know, your budget, everything. And each page, you know, reading my time with Abba. If you look at that unboxing video, you will be able to see it like you're holding it like right in front of you. Everything won't be turned backwards like it is now on camera. But if you are at all interested in learning more about this journal, I really would love to recommend you going to watch the last two videos, the unboxing video, and then there's a video, I think it has a circle in the middle, and it's like why you need this journal or something like that. Go watch those two videos and then you'll learn more about that. But guys, for those of you guys who have been here, I still have journals available. I have had some people put in pre-orders. I understand some people might not want to pre-order, but I'm like, listen, once they're gone, they're gone. So I only ordered 200 copies of the journal. And I know I live here in not too far away from Dallas. I live in the suburbs of Dallas, so there's a lot of people here. And I go to a lot of events and I network with people who are like-minded individuals and believers in Christ. And so this journal ain't going to be here long, I tell you that. And I might actually have to end up investing more money to buy a bigger load of journals. And it's going to be crazy because I have a 2-bedroom, 2-bath home, a townhome. I don't know where I'm going to put all these journals, but it's just me. So this is my work room. I don't want to clutter this room, and I don't want to have to buy space for an office or something. But if God blesses me to have that much demand, which I'm sure he will, amen, I'm speaking it into existence, I'm claiming it, that people want this journal, and it comes in this box, and it's cute, and it's black, and it's gold, and it's cute, okay? I love this journal. And so anyway, that's that on that. But what I come on here to tell you, and I'm not going to be before you long, is I am going to take a sabbatical, meaning I will not be posting on YouTube. I will not be posting on Instagram. I will not be posting on Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, or any other social media app. Why? Well, God's been telling me for the longest to step away from social media. And every time he told me to do that, I came up with some type of excuse. I'm like, Lord, the journal. I can't step away from social media because if I'm not on social media posting the journal is not going to sell. God told me, who told you to do the journal? And I got real quiet. And I was like, you. Who gave you the idea for the journal? You. And then I got this revelation, or maybe a conviction rather, that I was putting God in a box. Whether this journal does well or not does not depend on me. That's logical thinking. With God, nothing makes sense. And if you don't believe me, just open your Bible, which I'm trying to encourage you to do. But nothing with God makes sense. So I have a medical background, and I've always went to school for medicine. Never went to school for business. Don't know the first thing about entrepreneurship, but I am called to that area as well. I have many talents. And so I have learned to accept the fact that I am a PA, but I'm also an author. I'm also an entrepreneur. I'm a lot of things, a speaker, and now a teacher. So I'll be teaching at Yale University online PA program coming up, I'll be doing some guest lecturing, and this is why I went to school to get my doctorate degree, my degree was conferred January 22nd. I have not had my hands on my degree yet. I hope it will be delivered soon, but they said it could take up to 6 to 8 weeks after the fact, so it'll be here shortly. But I came on here to tell you guys that yes, I went to a conference yesterday. It was called Life Surge. If you've never heard of Life Surge, don't feel bad because I hadn't either. I just saw a post about it. They were advertising it, and I clicked on it. I saw Priscilla Shirer was going to be giving the word, and I've only seen her in person once because I live here in the great country of Texas. And so she came to my church as a guest speaker, and she blew my mind. So I was like, of course, I would love to see her again. And then Maverick City. Now, when a lot of people say Maverick City, they think of just Chandler Moore. And while he is like phenomenal and his voice gives me chills, especially when he's praising the Lord and he's fully in worship, but Maverick City is like a whole group. And so I was like, oh my God, Maverick City is going to be here. Oh, I got to go. So it was just like an impulse buy, right? I didn't buy the most expensive ticket. I brought the ticket I could afford. And at the time, that's $19. I'm like, okay, whatever. I get a call a week later that they're upgrading my ticket to a floor seat and lunch is included. I'm like, no way. Okay, I agree. I paid the extra $40. And I sat on the floor right in front of the Maverick City, Naomi was awesome. The whole choir was awesome. Gave me chills. Had me up in there shouting and praising, jumping. I loved it. They had the guy from Duck Dynasty. His name is Willie. He got up there and spoke to us about legacy. Priscilla Shirer got up there and tied it all together. We had the lady who is the CEO and founder of Auntie Annie's, or Auntie Anne's, the pretzel place. She got up there and told her story and made me cry because she told me of how she lost her daughter and how she was being molested and taken advantage of by her pastor and how her marriage was falling apart and how God showed up. And so throughout the whole conference, I thought it was just going to be like a Christian experience, how you come and you hear somebody preach a sermon or preach a couple of sermons, you have worship music and prayer, and then you leave. I was nowhere ready to experience what God had set up for me. He literally blew my mind. Blew it. Okay? So earlier, let me backtrack. I'm not an entrepreneur. I never went to school to be an entrepreneur. But let me change my words. I am an entrepreneur because God said so. But on paper, should I be an entrepreneur? Would it look like I'm an entrepreneur? No. I went to that conference because I needed a word from God. My grandmother just died last week, and I miss her so much. I went home in January because I couldn't come for the holidays, and I took care of my grandma. I'm talking, got up at 6 a.m., gave her 6 a.m. meds, 9 a.m. meds, 9 p.m. meds. I cleaned her. I washed her. I fed her. I listened to her cry. I listened to her holler out. She had dementia. She had AFib. She had hypertension. They tried to call her diabetic, but which she was not. But anywho, she had a lot of ailments, and I took care of her for a whole week straight. And I alleviated my mother, who had moved in with her in June and hadn't had a break since. And so I was home trying to manage and praying for my grandma. We watched church together that Sunday. And then literally almost a month from the date, she died February the 5th, and I flew home January the 6th, almost a month to the date. She passed away, and I had to turn around and go back home. And before I knew it, a week had passed, and I'm back in Dallas. But it's I feel like I'm in this limbo. I know she died. I'm at peace with her dying because she's not in pain anymore, and she has joined my grandfather in heavenly places. And I know she's happier, but who I'm grieving for is myself, not for her. I'm happy for her. Every day is Sunday where she is in the gold streets with the pearly gates. She up there living her best life. But for me, I lost my best friend. My grandmother was truly my best friend. I called her every day. And when I was in PA school, after my grandfather passed, I went over to her house to come see her every day. So you can't say I didn't love my grandma. And so I was just like, I'm waiting to go to this Life Surge event so I can get a word, a breakthrough. But what I got from that was so much more. God equipped me with the tools that I needed, with the classes I needed, the opportunity for the people I talked to, how I networked, to be equipped with all the things and more that I could ever want to make sure this journal does well, to make sure, you know, like my headspace and my mind is on the right things, because they're like, make sure you have hold of your mind. Your mind is the most important thing, but it's the first thing the devil goes for when he's coming for distractions, when he's coming to try and keep you from doing something that he knows will ultimately bring purpose to your life, or you living out your purpose, walking in your word, walking in your faith. The devil always comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And I got wisdom, I got encouragement, I got so many things that it just blew my mind away. And when I was driving home, and I'm about to cry now, when I was driving home, I cried at how much I had to literally think this thing through. I came to that event by myself. It was 8,000 people in this arena. And out of all 8,000 people they could have called, they called me to upgrade my ticket, to put me on the floor, to put me strategically in this section where another young lady had also been upgraded. Her ticket had also been upgraded, and she came by herself to link us together, to make this godly connection and godly friendships, which I have been praying for, to equip me for this entrepreneurial journal, which I have doubted and I have second guessed since I've started, and built my confidence back up, but also built my faith. And I feel like during this time, I really do need to disconnect to get connected. And I feel like I don't need any distractions where I am right now. So in order to protect that, I have to stop. I have to walk away from social media. It may take a month. It may take a couple of weeks. It may take 2 months. It may take 3 months. But what I do know is that God is faithful. And if he's been telling me, I mean, literally, I have felt this in my spirit, and I've tried to ignore it. I've tried to push it away. I've tried to say, no, Lord, you don't understand. Like, if I'm not posting on social media, my engagement's going to go down. My page isn't going to grow. I'm going to get kicked out the algorithm, and then I have to get back in the algorithm, and a lot of people won't see my post. And I forget that he is God. He can make anything happen. To hey with the algorithm. What is the algorithm when it comes to God? What is engagement when it comes to God? If you post on social media and God wants people to see it, it's going to be seen. And my engagement's going to be there if he wants it to be there. God can make anything happen. Nothing is too big or small for God. And that's when I heard, like, I'm dreaming too small. My dreams are too small. My faith isn't where it needs to be. My belief isn't where it needs to be, and I'm not spending enough time with God. How can I be on here? And I mean, literally, this year, I started reading my Bible again. I have read my Bible through Genesis, and then I skipped, not Genesis, I read the 4 Gospels, and then I skipped the Revelation, didn't finish Revelation, and besides going to church on Sunday and skipping around in the book or whatever topic or whatever story they're pulling from, I didn't read my Bible again. That was through college. Since this year started, I put down one of my goals is to read the Bible a few times before I leave this earth. So I started it where I was in January. Then the idea for the journal came. And I was like, all right, guys, we're going to do this together. I'm like, well, how can I show people that I'm still reading my Bible if I can't post? Right now, I'm in Exodus. How can I show people that I'm utilizing the journal myself and not just trying to get them to buy something? Because the whole world, as soon as you cut on the TV, you get on the internet, somebody trying to sell you something. I understand. I'm like, how? How are people going to be able to relate to me if they don't see me? If I'm not visible, if I'm not creating awareness around my brand? And again, God convicted me. I'm dreaming too small. I'm thinking too small. I mean, what if all this, of course, is a part of God's plan, but what if he has bigger and better for me? What if he got plans he want to download to me? And I am so distracted by social media. I mean, literally, if I have any little downtime, I'm on social media scrolling. And I've tried to replace that with, instead of open Instagram, open my Bible app. But it just don't happen because I've created that habit. And now it's time for me to step back and let God open my mind. I mean, I'm ready for God to blow my mind again. So as much as I don't want to, I have to step away from social media. And this includes me, like, God, I hate this, but but it's like I know God has more for me and I can't get it if I don't spend time with him the way I'm supposed to. And so I'm stepping away, guys. I'm stepping away. Now, as for the podcast, the episodes have been pre-scheduled since last year. So the podcast is still going to drop, okay? The podcast is still going to drop. By the way, my podcast is called God, Coffee, and Resilience with Reese. Go check me out. Go rate it. Go subscribe and share it with a friend. But yeah, the podcast is good all the way up until September. So that's going to post. I know that we just literally went to weekly, and I'm still going to be a good steward of that because, again, that's God's. He told me to start a podcast. I hate my voice. So I am going to make sure I'm still posting that, but that's not social media. I can't really interact with somebody. All I can do is just post the episodes. So the podcast is good. As for YouTube, I'm probably today gonna post schedule 2 or 3 videos that's gonna post on its own because I've had some people ask me about how to get their CV together for a job, what books and resources do I use as a psych PA, and other things about negotiating a contract and stuff that I didn't go over. So I am gonna make those videos because I promised I would to those people and schedule them and let them know that they're coming. But otherwise, this is just going to be a time where, like, I meditate, I read my word, I talk to God, I get on my face, I pray, and I take care of myself. This is going to be a detox for me. Because while the world is stuck on social media and stuck going down rabbit holes and stuck going down cleaning TikTok and all these things, I want to be connected to God. Because I do understand now that my grandpa left, my grandmother left. I mean, I'm not naive to the fact that my mother is going to go someday. And it's time for me to get my mind right. I'm just wasting time and life is so short. I remember yearning to be in my 20s and then I blink and now I'm almost 30. Like, time is going by so fast. Like, we're almost to the 3rd month in 2022 and it feels like yesterday we just got in this year. So, like, I'm not up for wasting no more time. I want to get everything God has for me out of life. And I believe if he wants me to have it or what he wants me to do, he will give me all of my desires and he will give me all of my wants and my needs. My needs are everything for me to survive and live out my purpose is already here. I need to get connected so I can hear his voice and receive his direction. And right now I'm not hearing it. And I've been trying to do both and they're clashing with each other. So I need to throw social media to the side for a minute, take my sabbatical for a month or 2. And it may be longer. I'm not trying to put God in a box. I'm not. I don't know when's the next time I'm going to record another video or do another photo shoot or anything else. But I am prepared and I'm showing God I'm here, I'm available, I'm open, and I'm in this thing with you. So I hope that you guys hang in there with me. I'm scared and I'm nervous because I think to an extent when I attended Life Surge, the conference yesterday, God blew my mind. And I'm not trying to give too much away, but what I can tell you is I'm so thankful that I'm a child of God and a believer. And this is going to be not even a new season, not even a new chapter. This is going to be a whole new book for me. And I have to do this not only for myself, but for my future husband and my future kids and my future grandkids and my future great-grands and so forth. I have to get connected, guys. And I pray that being connected to God is of importance to you in this capacity as well. But whether you understand or not, I got to do what I got to do, y'all. So I am going to get all that God has for me. My word this year is capacity, and the word this year for the church is stretch, or in other words, expand your territory. And I believe God is doing just that. So like I said, I'm going to post maybe 2 or 3 more videos, and they're going to be pre-scheduled. I'm going to be recording them in the next few minutes. So when they post, just know I'm still on sabbatical. But these are videos I had promised people even before my grandma passed last week. So, I mean, not last week, the week before. So we had her funeral last week. And also I need to process that. And I need a mental break. You guys, like, I know, like, when you watch my videos, it might not seem like a lot, but literally every weekend I'm planning photo shoots. I'm getting a photographer. I'm taking my own photos. I'm recording. You know, like, I'm editing. I'm networking. There's always something that needs to be done for my brand. And it feels like I'm running on a hamster wheel. And at some point, you need a break. And so even though I don't have 1 billion subscribers and blah, 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 and you guys are probably watching this video and you can care less, I get it. But I still got to let you know where I'm going, because a little bit of people who do follow me will probably like to know. And so there it goes. I'm taking a sabbatical, and I will see you guys later. Y'all keep me in prayer, and if you haven't already, go ahead and get your journal pre-ordered, and go ahead and share my unboxing video and share the video before that with any millennial or non-millennial that you know who needs to build a relationship and foster their connection with God. Because the best way to do that is to spend time getting to know your God. So I'll see y'all after the sabbatical. Bye, guys.